Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Sunday, 30th day of June, 2019. I know it's a little early, but let me wish each and every one a happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day. Beautiful time for us all to reflect on what a great country we live in. We all have so much to be thankful for. Well, thanks for coming out today. Glad to see you all. I'm going to keep this pretty short. We are beginning a 3-day open house, which you're aware of. Pretty sure that's why you're at the webinar today, because you want to participate. And the actual open house starts tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's already 5. So in 1 hour, the Globex open, and our Logic 247 Emini Alert service runs from Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern to Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern, around the clock, as opportunities develop. If you have any questions at all, put them into the chat box, okay? Normally, they tell you got to wait till the end of the presentation when the speaker's done, but I would rather, if something pops into your mind, you have a question, you probably would like an answer, so I will give you an answer, okay? So just type into the chat box. Any questions, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat box. In fact, somebody give me an X, put a little X in the chat box so that I know you can hear me. Somebody, anybody. Maybe somebody already has, and I've got it covered up. There we go. There's my X in the chat box. Thank you very much, Chris. Appreciate that. Okay. Now, CFRN's been around since 2005. We've been teaching people how to trade Emini Futures for quite a number of years. Everything that we do is simple by design. A lot of the stuff out there, very complicated, convoluted, often it's difficult to know what you're even supposed to do and when you're supposed to do it. So everything that we've created is simple by design. Okay, I got more people showing up. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and keep going. Now, I don't normally use a PowerPoint, but just to keep me on track and to get this over, because I have to be ready to monitor the markets and traders in less than an hour, I think this will be beneficial. Here we go, slide 1. Yeah, I feel very professional. Learn how to trade, Logic 247. Now, there's 2 different facets of what we do. The first one is our live training room. I'm going to get to that here in just a moment. Emini indicators, weekly trading zones, concierge trade alerts, 24/7 Emini alerts, that's the Logic 247, and our 24/20 blueprint. These are the things that we're going to cover today. I want to make sure that the 3 days you have in the room and in the Telegram channel, with access to the alerts, one-on-one mentoring, the group discussion, just want to make sure you're able to fully utilize everything to the very best of your ability, okay? All right. If I talk about something that you're not familiar with, or perhaps the way I explain it just doesn't make sense, type it in. Nobody sees what you type except myself, and I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to try to help you if I can. So anything at all, most of all, I just don't want you to be confused. All right. Everybody has spent a lot of time and treasure trying to learn how to trade. That's if you've been around the trading industry for any length of time. You've spent time treasure. I talk to people every day who've spent years and thousands of dollars, some tens of thousands of dollars. Ask yourself, how much have you spent so far, and how much do you have left? How much time? How much treasure? Now, if you're like everyone else, the money you spent was on indicators, it was on chat rooms, maybe on gurus, crystal balls. Who knows? There's so much stuff out there. But yet, after all the time and all the money, you're struggling to still trade your own account. Why is that? Why can't you trade your own account after all the time and all the treasure? The answer is quite simple, because no one taught you. If you're like 9 out of 10 ordinary people, not only can't you trade your own account, you can't fly a plane, you can't do brain surgery, you can't design a high-rise, or even fix your own toilet. Why? Again, the same reason, because no one has taught you to do these things. If someone taught you to fly, you could probably fly. Brain surgery, plumbing, you get the idea. Futures Magazine wrote an article many years ago that stated 9 out of 10 new traders ultimately fail. No matter how much time and how much treasure they pour into this thing, they fail. Now that struck me as being an extremely large percentage. 9 out of 10, that's 90%. 9 out of 10 brain surgeons don't fail. 9 out of 10 architects, 9 out of 10 rocket scientists. There is, I don't know of any profession that has a 90% failure rate, but trading does. And when Futures Magazine published this article, no one questioned it. In fact, everybody just nodded their head, agreed, and no one really did anything about it. So I began to look for that common thread. What do 9 out of 10 people have in common? And that one thing, that common thread, was no teacher. Now, the 1 out of 10 who succeeds, if you can track him or her down, ask them if they had a teacher, 9 out of 10 will tell you, of course I did. Now, we get emails every day. I'm sure you do. If you've ever been to one trading webinar, that's enough to fill up your inbox for a lifetime with every harebrained scheme in the world for trading the markets. And that won't happen today, I promise you, because we don't share our contact list with anyone. Some people sell it on the open market. Some companies swap them around. We don't. Most of the emails you get, there's some silver bullet, some holy grail, some magical indicator, some mystical oscillator, and quite frankly, it's all kind of a load of crap. I don't use 4-letter words too often, but that one fits. Now, here's the depressing part. If you haven't figured it out yet, you will. In fact, it all becomes painfully obvious once your money's gone. Now, how do I know that? Because everything I talk about here is a reflection of my own life and my own experience. It will become painfully obvious that it's all a load of crap once your money's gone. And sadly, it will be gone unless you learn how to trade. Now, you don't have to learn how to trade with us. If you can find someone else that will teach you how to trade, that's fine. The important thing is simply that you learn how. You have a teacher who teaches you how to trade. One of the solutions would be us. You can learn our simple Emini method. Don't be forced by the market and by the vendors to abandon your dream of becoming a professional trader. Hold on to that dream. It may seem impossible at the moment, but it's not. Trading's not easy, but it can be simple. Remember, everything we do is simple by design, not by accident. Learning to trade isn't easy either, but it also can be simple. Our live Emini Trading Room is open from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. What you learn in the room is a rules-based mechanical method for trading. There is a rule for every situation. Now that might sound daunting, like, oh my goodness, who could remember all those rules? Honestly, there's not that many. But everything that will happen in the live training room, we've already encountered it. The thinking has already been done. The solution has already been arrived at. All you have to learn how to do for this mechanical, rules-based method, simply do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. It takes a little practice. In the beginning, you'll want to hesitate a little, or you'll want to second guess or question. But the more experience you have with our rules-based mechanical method, the more faith you'll have in it, the more you'll be able to trust it, and you'll be able to take action and do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. Mark Douglas wrote a couple books. The one he's most known for is Trading in the Zone. Mark was a friend of mine. He passed away a few years ago. He was one of the good guys. He really was. Now, this is an excerpt from his book, Trading in the Zone. There's a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. In other words, based on the past performance of your edge, whatever it might be, you may know that out of the next 20 trades, on average, 12 will be profitable, 8 will not be profitable. What you don't know is the sequence of the profitable and non-profitable trades, or how much money the market is going to make available on the profitable trades. This truth makes trading a probability or numbers game. When you really believe that trading is simply a probability business, concepts like right and wrong or win and lose no longer have the same significance. In fact, over the next few days as you hang out with us, you won't hear us say things like right or wrong. It's not part of our vernacular anymore. Now, when you remove these words from your vocabulary and your way of thinking, your expectations line up with what's actually possible in the market. Talk to people all the time who are just getting started in trading. They've already started working on a business plan and a trading plan, and they share their plan with me. And their goal is to take 10 points a day out of the S&P 500 Emini Futures. Okay, it's not every day that the S&P 500 Emini Futures makes 10 points available in one directional move. The beautiful thing about the S&P 500 Emini Futures, you can make as much money as you are qualified to make with just 2 points a day. The markets are liquid. There's always someone around the clock in the S&P 500 Emini. If you want to buy, there's somebody willing to sell to you. And if you want to sell, there's somebody willing to buy. There's no spread. Where people make a mistake, along with having unrealistic goals, such as trying to get 10 points a day when you can make the same money with 2. And I won't go into that deep explanation today, but I will over the next couple of days with you, because we'll spend a lot of time together in the Telegram channel. You and I will have a one-on-one mentoring session, no cost if you request it, and I'll get all of your, deep questions answered and show you charts to just back everything up. Some people think if they spend enough time in front of the chart, sooner or later, they'll be buff enough, they'll be able to run faster, jump higher, lift more than other traders, and they will become the king of the playground. And that's just not true. Wall Street has everybody chasing their tail, looking for that next magical, mystical thing that means you'll never get stopped out again. that you'll only have profitable trades. That is not a possible reality. It doesn't exist. It's like looking for a black cat in the dark that doesn't exist. Only those, now I said that 1 out of 10 goes on to become a profitable trader, while 9 out of 10 fail. Along with not having a teacher, the 9 out of 10 never understood that it is a business based on probabilities. You and I are not big enough, strong enough, smart enough, or rich enough to move the market. We have no control over the market. The market is dictated by the order flow. If there's more buyers than sellers, price is going up. If there's more sellers than buyers, price is going down. It doesn't matter what any indicator or oscillator on your chart tells you, or any guru tells you. The direction and movement of the market is dictated by the order flow itself, and you and I have no control over the order flow except when we put in a buy order and a sell order. We have a small effect on it, but in the grand scheme of things, it's very tiny. Our indicators are very simple. I have seen traders with so many things on their chart, so many indicators, so many oscillators, that it is confusing, right? You got 10 things on your chart, 5 tell you to go long, 5 tell you to go short, and it becomes analysis paralysis. It's not good. Michael and I, my partner, when we got together back in 2006 and started trading together, we were headed in the wrong direction just like everyone else. We owned every indicator that was for sale. Stuff that wasn't for sale, we coded it ourselves. We had to literally get additional screens for our stuff. Well, thank God we came to the realization after a few years that we were headed in the wrong direction. And so we went through a very painful process of removing everything that was not contributing to the bottom line. Sometimes less really is more. Our proprietary indicators that we use are the things that were contributing to the bottom line. The names, don't worry about the names, you got to call it something. The CFMA1, it's not a moving average, but it is a combination of things, and the best way to label it so that people would understand it and be able to relate to it, CFMA1, as in CFRN, there you go. Color-coded for your convenience. When the CFMA1 is blue, think bullish. Red, think bearish. There'll be a green line on your charts. We call it the BBC, bull, bear, cross. When price gets above the green line, we are again bullish. And when price gets below this green line, the BBC, we're bearish. So there's one indicator, 2 indicators. The third indicator, and this is the last one, it's called the slingshot. You look at the slingshot right before you pull the trigger to give you the final confirmation that all systems are go, trading in the bullish or bearish direction. I'm going to give you, or Valerie will email you a link. She may have already done so. You'll go to cfrn.net/trial. I believe it is. Check the email she sent you. And there you'll be able to download the indicators. Now, our indicators work on the DT Pro platform, and you can take a demo of the DT Pro platform on that same page. Our indicators will install right on it. Live real-time data, a demo account to trade in. There's no cost for that. Our indicators also work on Ninja. So when you get to that page, cfrn.net/trial, just click the right one, and you'll be directed how to install the indicators, how to take the demo, or how to put the Ninja indicators on. Okay? Now, if you're going to take this trial, if you're going to spend 3 days with us in the open house, it's really important that you download and install the indicators. Otherwise, a lot of what we say and a lot of what we show you, it won't really make sense. So it's to your benefit, won't cost you anything. Use them, trade in sim tomorrow morning in the live training room at 9:30 a.m. Michael will walk everybody through how to get the indicators up and running. We have some videos that do the same thing. But this will be live in real time tomorrow morning, just as I'm here live in real time today. And I'll be with you all through the night on the Telegram channel. Okay? So tomorrow morning, you'll have your indicators up and running. When Michael puts on and takes off a trade, you'll be able to trade right along in sim using the indicators. When I put out an Emini alert, whether it's for the S&P or the Dow, the Russell, the NASDAQ, Crude, Gold, you'll be able to follow along and participate trading in the sim account using the information we give you and the indicators on your chart. Let me remind everyone real quick. Please read this. Trading is risky. You can lose all of your money and then some. I know we've talked about that, but let's get personal. Topics discussed during your trial on our radio program are the opinions of our host, that's me, our guests, many, our traders, a lot, not CFRN. This is not to be considered as an offer to buy or sell any security or futures contract. Again, trading is risky and not suitable for all people. You'll be trading in sim during your trial with us, so there's no danger in losing any money. But before you go live, always consult with a licensed investment professional before making any investment decision. And always, whether you're in sim or not, trade with a hard stop loss. Okay. What we teach, again, is simple. It has to do with the rhythm of the market. You might be a great dancer. You know, you could just be standing in the coffee shop. Some music comes on, some music cast. Pretty soon your foot's tapping in perfect time with the beat. Your hips are swaying, your fingers are popping, right? You're grooving, just standing there. Well, some people don't have that. If you ever watched Seinfeld when it was popular, Elaine had a very unique way of dancing. It seems Elaine didn't really hear the beat. If she did, she couldn't follow it. There is a rhythm to the market. 9 out of 10 never hear the rhythm. And if they hear it ever so faintly, they're never able to dance to it. Okay? We're going to teach you over the next couple of days, and our indicators, that's what our indicators are designed for, to go into any market, any time frame, and highlight the underlying rhythm of that market in that time frame. Okay? The method that we teach you is guaranteed to be fluid across all markets and all time frames. You can use it to trade the S&P E-mini, Dow, Russell, NASDAQ, equities, crude, gold, bonds, grains, forex, crypto, every market, every time frame. I know that people tell you, you've probably heard you can't trade gold the same way you trade soybeans or the S&P or vice versa. Well, that's their opinion. We have a different opinion. And we're going to show you over the next few days how we use the same methodology, the same parameters, the same risk. Everything is identical, whether we're trading E-minis or crude or gold or bonds, every market, every time frame. Complicated is not better. Expensive is not better. Elegant simplicity is mo better. What we do has no gimmicks, no parlor tricks. This is how markets work. Some people actually like the gimmicks and like the parlor tricks. We're all attracted to magic on some level. Who hasn't watched the magician on the stage perform and our jaws drop and we ooh and we ah? But see, we know that's an illusion, right? But when the market magicians go to work, something in our little rat brains doesn't flip the switch that, oh wait, this is an illusion. We actually fall for it. If you're going to survive, if you're going to become consistently profitable before you run out of time and treasure, you got to get over the magic. You got to understand it's an illusion, and you have to learn how to trade. Again, you don't need a different system for different markets. You don't need different indicators for different markets. The Logic 247 method can be applied to any market and any time frame. Now, along with the indicators, part of our methodology embraces a proprietary tool called our weekly trading zones. This is a cornerstone of what we're going to teach you. The weekly trading zones have been published for CFRN traders every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern since December 14th of 2009. Once we publish them on Monday morning, they do not change throughout the week. We don't massage them, manipulate them. Once published, they're carved in stone. Now, trading is a business where there are very few absolutes. But I absolutely promise you that only one of three things can happen when price hits a weekly trading zone. The most likely thing to happen is consolidation. The second most likely is rejection. And the third most likely is the slice. Once you understand this, it becomes incredibly powerful information. Because as price reaches a weekly trading zone, you'll be able to discern not what could happen, not what might happen, but what is happening, and you will take the appropriate action to enter and manage a trade. This is from last week. Our week runs from Sunday night to Friday, and this was Friday, the 28th. This is gold. Only three things can happen at a weekly trading zone. The most likely is consolidation. When price comes down to a zone or moves up to a zone, these are 30-minute candles you're looking at. Each candle represents 30 minutes in the gold futures market. Look at how many hours. Second most likely is rejection. See how it reached up? It actually missed touching the zone by a tick. It's almost like somebody touched a hot stove and then snatched their hand back. See that? That's rejection. The third and least likely thing that will happen is called the slice. And I don't have an example on this slide, but that's when price slices through a zone like it isn't even there, and then comes back to the zone to confirm good support or good resistance. Okay? Here's the NQ. Here's Friday's close. It's not unusual at all for price to close at a weekly trading zone. Now, let me go back to that gold chart for just a second. No, I covered everything. Okay, I thought I missed something. All right, let's keep going. NQ. Here's Friday's close. On the 26th, price reached this weekly trading zone. Now, this is this past Thursday, Wednesday night, Thursday. From the zone to the zone, 60 points. Now, as you can see, we ran from here. We almost hit the zone. Zones are an area. We went from zone up to the zone, down to the zone. And then we finally completed the run right here on Friday at the closing bell. The NQ pays $20 per point. This zone-to-zone move is a $1,200 per contract move. If you entered here and took profit here, that's a $1,200 per contract move. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you this, and you're going to go, But as you see it in action over the next couple of days, you're going to go, Price is always trying to get to a weekly trading zone. either the zone overhead or the zone below. When you, through the use of the indicators, learn to discern which direction price is moving in, then you know where it's trying to get to. And if you know where price is trying to get to, it can almost become like shooting fish in a barrel. But we like fish, and so we don't shoot them. No fish were harmed in the making of this slide. Here's the Russell 2000. Here's Friday's close. Again, now remember, these zones were given to our traders last Monday morning, 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Here's Friday's close, right at a zone. Now, we went zone to zone to zone. That's a 19-point move. Russell pays $50 per point, $950 per contract available. We had an alert to consider being long 1558. We had a target somewhere on the way up, but because this is an extended move, on extended moves, we tend not to get out at the hard target. In fact, we wait for the chart to tell us it's time to exit because the move is most likely over. Based on our methodology and our indicators, which are not loaded on this slide, the close of this candle right here was the exit signal. The exit signal printed at 1568. So from 58 to 68, it's $500 per contract traded. You will receive your zones tomorrow morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. Just like every other CFRN trader, you will be treated just like one of our traders for the next 3 days. Tonight, Monday, Tuesday. We hold nothing back. Everything is yours. Tonight, you'll have, and Valerie probably already sent you an email with this information in it, so go back and look. If you don't find it, ask her for it and she'll point you to it. You're going to have access to a series of articles, posts, videos, charts that Google gathered up for us that will help you better understand and harness the power of our weekly trading zones. I could talk on and on for hours about them. I'm very passionate about them. But until you see them in action, until you see what happens when price gets to a zone with your own eyes on your own chart, it's just words, and I understand that. Now, along with the dynamic Logic 247 alerts, those are alerts sent in real time. We also have Concierge Trade Alerts. This is a static report issued every evening before 9 p.m. Eastern. These are the prices that will determine whether you are looking for long or short opportunities, and it's good for the entire session. When you get your Concierge Trade Alerts tonight, it will look like this. For the S&P, it says consider long. Now these were Thursday nights, okay? Thursday night, it said consider being long at or above 2940. It said consider being short at or below 2926. Anything between is a crapshoot, but I'll teach you how to use those numbers as targets as well. What this is telling you is that once price gets to 2940, from 2940 on above, you should only be looking for long trades. If price drops to 2926, you only want to be looking for short trades. And everything in between is a crapshoot. We do the Dow, the Russell, crude, gold, soybeans, bonds. It's 8 markets. Okay, this is the S&P that I just showed you from last Thursday night. Consider being long, 2940. The first move here, 4 3/4 points. Second move, 15 points. A 15-point move, a 4 3/4 point move in the S&P is a beautiful move. That's double daily income for us. It's not the number of points, and that's where so many traders get You know, it sounds good. I just want to take 5-10 points a day out of the S&P. Okay. Or there's another approach. Whatever dollar amount that you want to make, whether it's 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever it is, it can be done with just 2 points. The market is so liquid, you just have to increase the number of contracts you're trading. But you have to earn the right to trade multiple contracts. Okay. Question. Christopher says, I only saw Ninja 7. Do you have the indicators for Ninja 8 as well? We do, Chris, and Michael will set you up with that. As you know, Ninja 8's a little bit different animal from Ninja 7. It's a little quirky, and so it took us a while to get our indicators to work properly with it. But as far as I know, all systems are go. So you can email Val any questions. She's probably got the link. She probably has the file that you need to insert. And if not, she'll get it. And then tomorrow morning, when the live training room opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and you'll all have the link and password for that, Michael will walk you through the steps. Okay? Thanks for the question.
I'll send that to you, Chris.
Thank you very much, Valerie. No more boom and bust. If you've been at this for any length of time, you've gone through periods where for a couple days you were, like, I don't know, killing it, right? Or maybe even the longer you're at it, the longer these periods can go. Like, I hear it all the time. Dwayne, I don't understand. You know, for 3 weeks, I was profitable every day. And then in 3 days, I gave it all back. And then the cycle repeats, and it repeats. The market is always trending. Now, I know that you're going to read and hear that the market only trends a small percentage of the time. Okay? Depends upon the time frame that you're looking at. If you go to a daily chart, the market has been trending up since the markets began. Yes, we've had some deep retracements, but we've never had a reversal. The market is always trending based upon the time frame that you're observing. But that doesn't mean the market is always tradable. The market is not always tradable. Understanding when not to trade is really more important than knowing when to trade. Knowing when to trade allows you to put together the 3 days or the 3 weeks or 3 months of profitable trading. But understanding when not to trade, that's what causes you to give it all back. So I'm going to teach you over the next couple of days what to look at, what to look for, how to use our indicators as part of the puzzle solving process, so that when the markets are not conducive to trading, you keep your mouse in your pocket. You work hard for your money. This giving it back stuff is, well, it's boom and bust. Good news is you don't have to be a boom and bust trader anymore. Now, the 24/7 Emini alerts. Your Concierge Trade Alerts will come by email. The 24/7 Emini alerts, the Logic 247 alerts, will come in the Telegram channel. You'll be focused. I know Val gave you links to old discussion channels and old trials, even our beta test, and it's good. Go in there, look at all that stuff, read it. But you'll be focused primarily the next couple of days on you'll be focused on the channel where I actually deliver the alerts in real time, and the discussion group. The discussion group is in the channel where I post the alerts. You can't post there. The discussion group that goes along with the alert channel, that's where you ask your questions, that's where you get feedback, that's where you can chat with other traders. It's a great place to hang out, and you'll learn a lot just being in the discussion group. The alerts are delivered in real time, around the globe, around the clock. Now the chart tells you where to place your stop loss based on your risk tolerance. It is a 3-step process. This is a method that we teach to all of our traders. If you decide to become one of our traders, we're going to teach you exactly how to do it. You'll see recaps spread out throughout the different channels that you look at. Going back a week or two, week 45, there's just an example. 52 alerts were issued. 8 of them never triggered. That left us with 44 actionable alerts. 27 hit the final target. 14 of them hit at least the first target. 3 of them were stopped out. So on a percentage basis, 7% of the actionable alerts were stopped out. In the channel, this is what it's going to look like, okay? Whatever time zone you're in, Telegram reads the computer clock, or the clock on your computer. And so the time displayed, because I'm on Pacific time, I'm in Phoenix, but we don't do daylight savings time, so 8 months out of the year, we're on Pacific. So if you're watching the radio show each day, and you see me display the Telegram channel, you'll see the reflection of Pacific time. But the time will show up whatever time zone you're in. Thumbs up means price went from the entry to the target. From the entry to the target. From the entry to the target. When you see the Z's, that means the trade has not triggered, and so much time has elapsed since we put the alert out. We want to just move on and look at different opportunities in that market. So we'll go ahead and label it as a no trigger. And the red X is probably self-explanatory. Price hit the stop loss before it got to the target, if it even got to the target. That's a stop out. That's a no trigger. And that's when the market did what we thought the next high probability thing was. And there it is. Tip. That means trail if possible. On an extended move, we use our indicators to watch for what we call an exit signal. I'm going to teach you this over the next couple days. You'll be able to use the indicators and watch for exit signals yourself. It's a powerful tool. It's one thing to get a target from some guy on the internet or some guy on the radio or even some guy on TV. But it can't hold a candle to getting the information from the market itself, from the chart. When the chart says, hey, this move's about over, and I'm going to teach you how to see it and how to handle it. We had an example last week. We have them every week, but one that stands out in mind. We had a 5-point S&P alert from the entry to the final target. It's 5 points. But by waiting for the exit signal, the 5-point alert turned into a 25-point trade. And the only thing you have to do to get out at the exit signal versus the final target, all you have to do is nothing. Don't touch your mouse. Just wait. Now, the exit signal only works on an extended move. I'll teach you how to know when you're in an extended move. 2420 blueprint. We're almost done. The 2420 blueprint teaches you step by step how to grow your account from 1 to 20 contracts over a period of 24 months. Now, we believe in aggressive risk management. We also believe that it's foolhardy to go live until you've proven yourself consistently profitable with whatever method you're using. Our litmus test, we want to see you reach your daily goal 10 consecutive days in a row before you go live. We want to see you reach your goal 10 days in a row before you go live. When you go live, our suggestion is that you only go, I don't care how much money you have. It's not about who's got the most money. It's about whether you can be profitable or not. When you put together your 10 days in SIM where you reach your goal, you go live with one contract. We want you to stay with one contract. At least this is our recommendation. This is what the blueprint will tell you. Stay with one contract until you increase your account balance by $2,000. Once you've increased your account balance by $2,000, then you add a second contract. Doubles your daily goal. Whatever your goal was, you just doubled it. Now, at this point, we move to a calendar-based method. So instead of merit-based, it's now calendar-based. So once you increase your account balance to $2,000 and add a second contract, the reason we want you to increase the account balance to $2,000 is because that second contract is going to be underwritten with profit you earned in the market. Not your savings, not a loan. The first contract, that money comes from your savings, wherever you've probably been planning for this for some time. Okay, that's where that money comes from. But by the time you get to the second contract, we want you trading on profits you earned in the market. After the second contract, you go to the calendar-based method where it's already planned out. You'll know exactly what day you're going to add your third contract, exactly what day you're going to add your fourth contract. Now, the blueprint will take you from 1 to 20 over 24 months if everything goes perfect. Well, my world is rarely perfect. Somebody gets sick, you have to go out of town, life happens. Or you had to go back in sim for a few days. See, that's no walk of shame. A lot of traders, once they go live, once they step out, they could never think of going back to sim because that would be a sign of failure or weakness. No, it's a smart business decision. We're not playing games. This is about making money, okay? So when you go live, if for some reason you find you had to be profitable 10 days in a row before you went live, now that you're live, if you have 2 days back to back where you don't reach your goal, the blueprint will tell you to come right back into sim. You'll book a mentoring session. I'll get with you. Michael will get with you. We'll help you determine if you did anything that the methodology didn't call for, or if you were trying to trade in a market that was not conducive to trading. We'll troubleshoot, sort it out. We'll suggest you spend a couple days in sim to get your confidence back, and then you go right back out where you left off. It's not back to the drawing board. You don't start all over again. You haven't lost everything you've learned. You just had a setback. So if you don't get to 20 contracts in 24 months, no big deal. You'll get there when you get there. And not everybody has a goal of trading 20 contracts. Some people are happy with the income 5 contracts produces, and some want to trade 200. So where you fit in, what's right for you, that will be up to you. You've struggled to get this far. You can continue to struggle, or I can teach you our simple Emini method. Myself, Michael, Valerie, over the next 3 days, we'll do everything we can to teach you as much as we can. This might be the most important trading decision you ever make. Now, I know that sounds like somebody's a little bit full of themselves, but I'm not. Let me ask you this. Is your trading system so complicated and convoluted you never know what you're supposed to do or when you're supposed to do it? Maybe you've bought some really expensive stuff that requires financing or has ongoing monthly costs. Some of the systems and stuff out there, it's 20 grand plus. And remember, more complicated is not better. More expensive is not better. Elegant simplicity, something that actually works. Oh, that's priceless. but it doesn't have to be expensive. And some of you may have even experienced a guru disappearing on you once you make your payment. It happens. Well, God willing, and that's all I can lay it on. I've been here since 2005. I'm the founder. Michael's been with me since 2006. And we show up for work every day. Good days, bad days, the good, the bad, the ugly, the mediocre. When it rains, we show up. When our trades get stopped out, we don't hide them. We talk about them. It's not our fault it got stopped out. We did what we believe to be the next high probability thing, and order flow changed. It happens. If you're still chasing that perfect trading method where you never get stopped out and you just make oodles and oodles of money, my heart breaks, because I was there. I was that trader. And I cried and I prayed and I called out and I wrung my hands. What we have is the truth about markets. I'm not saying we're the only people that has something that works. I am not saying that. But I can only speak for us. We will always treat you with dignity and respect. We will always do everything in our power to help you learn everything that we know. And the goal is that eventually, as you're learning to trade with us, and you get these 24/7 Emini alerts around the clock, pretty soon, as our methodology sinks in and the indicators get a hold of you, you'll start spotting the setups before the alert comes out. So in the beginning, as you're learning, the alert sends you to look at your chart, and you can trade an alert, of course, but the most important thing is that you look at your chart and understand why there was an alert there. As you progress, you'll get to the point where you'll see the setup, sometimes maybe before I do. And when the alert comes through, it serves not as an alert as much as it does a confirmation.